Hello, and welcome along to episode 25 of Deletion. These guys are in dress, but there is no theme to this whatsoever. Look at them go. Isn't that nice?
My glasses so I look more doctory.
Last week, nobody last week's episode was called Propaganda.
Yeah.
Anyone that's not Pat want to fill us in? I think it might be a Mikayla's turn or a Josh's turn.
No, Mikayla did the last one, I think.
Really?
Okay, I'll go.
Okay,
I can try.
So we were all getting ready for the so like it was the morning of the riot.
It was the
Morning riot, but of the job.
Morning before, I thought.
Was it?
Yeah, we had a full day before,
Yeah.
but we just...
Oh yeah, because we prepped. Yeah.
Yeah, we did all the stuff.
Yeah, so it was the day before the event. And we found out that Dylan and his little brother and the turtle were staying back, and everyone else in the collusion was leaving, which bummed out Dylan, but we managed to persuade him to stay. I say we. Everyone else who cares, not me.
We almost traded Vulgo for Dylan.
It's true, which Vulgo was very willing to do, but unfortunately God told us not to do that.
And rightfully so.
Yes, absolutely. And then I think we kind of all split up to prep. Oh no, we had a meeting the day before. We had a meeting with the woman who's upset that they're not my patron, so that's why they're kicking me out. That's my headcanon, at least. Eliana is kicking us out because we are too dangerous of a commodity to keep around.
And when pressed, she went into a bit more detail. What was the detail? Anybody else can chip in here?
Oh, Future and Ford had gotten hurt, or Future at least.
Future had been hurt, and then Ford and Shift went to his rescue to get rid of
a couple of siphon that followed us home one night.
Kind of siphon, they're not really.
The angelic.
They're called searchers, so these are actually robots. They're not siphon. They don't have people inside them.
Oh, right.
They're not, because Warforged are an entity, right? Siphon are an entity. They're a being. They've got full personalities and they're their own person. These searchers are complete robots. Yeah, two of them.
So they got her on our behalf, so we're being kicked out. But I doubt Aisha's being kicked out, considering we got her on her behalf last time. But that's for other people to debate.
Your opinions yourself, and just give us a recap.
Yeah. Anyways, so we're getting kicked out, and then we all split up and did our own kind of prep. Some people practiced in the danger room. I furiously packed. And then the day came.
We got Dell some upgrades for her gun.
Yes, we also got some.
We went shopping.
Technically, we bought those in retrospect.
True.
Because we bought them in Mount Moordside from the previous episode.
Yeah, that's right.
But we also got some stuff from the stalls, because we got some tokens again. We got some gift vouchers.
Yeah, got some potions and some items from the collusion.
We got some potions, right? Yeah, that's right. From Nicholas.
Yeah.
Yes,
Right.
And then the day passed, and it was the day of, and we had a team huddle to boost morale. And then we all set forth and congregated at the shopping center. And then Aisha went to go plug her USB into the giant TV, and this
an apt description.
Yeah, and this giant winged robot came flying through, but no one else could see because they're all being hijacked mentally. And so we were fighting what they would assume was a ghost, but we fought nonetheless. But it didn't stop him from blasting a hole in Aisha's back. And then that's him.
Yeah. When we took off at the end of last episode, Aisha had fallen and had been caught by Shift, standing sort of, who teleported down, if you remember, just in front, managed to catch him. and you guys were left standing around the body of this robot that nobody else could see. Bex had witnessed your struggle and aided you in it, despite being unable to see this enemy. And then we left off with the images playing of the government's corruption, of certain business owners paying government members for certain things. Joseph Quick, sorry, no, that's not true. Richard Vega, the transport mogul of Vega Tunnels, was depicted transporting weaponry. And as you turn, you just sort of see Shift looking down in his arms, and he teleports in front of Bex. And she sort of looks at Aisha and looks her over once or twice and is like, "You should bring her. We need to get back to the med lab. I can't do anything for her here."
Was she talking to us?
She was talking to Shift specifically.
Oh,
Eliana is the only person on this collusion mission who you haven't seen. Do you remember that although the base was emptied out, Kronks hasn't been here either? He doesn't always operate directly with the collusion. Eliana, very notable figure, probably didn't want to be seen prior to it. But as all this is happening, she's sort of one of the women in the crowd who looks like a sort of normal member of society, sort of transforms, if you will, undisguised selves, if you like. And Eliana comes forward and... "One soldier's life is one too many. Back to the base. All of us. Come on."
Should we take the body of the thing that we killed?
Can you see this thing now? I kick a dead body on the floor.
Oh, as I think as you kick it, sort of like sparks and maybe a bit of a part comes off, and then she can see it. But the black reflection, Vulgo, it's very similar to the black reflective casing you saw on the black Warforged who stole your patron.
They've got other models.
Mm-hmm. And then she sort of looks up. "We leave together. Kronks has got the bus." And you've not heard of the bus. But the bus is not a bus at all. The bus is like a long armored vehicle that is used for some of their more exotic missions. And it has an extra dimensional space in it. She will gesture for you all to climb inside, including you guys. And come back to the collusion base. Is there anything any of you want to do before the bus journey begins?
Well, I mean, are we bringing the dead body with us? Or...
yeah, I guess a few
Ender,
people will help out.
Yeah, I mean,
Ender
she's
will
right
pick 'em
there.
up.
We can throw it on D4, yeah.
Yeah,
Ender will pick 'em up.
D4, Aeglon will help out a little bit. He's sort of trying to do anything to not think too much about his sister. And then you guys...
Before we go, one thing you did say that we skipped over is that Alexander was trying to contact us at the very end of last.
So right at the end of last session, specifically Oleg saw the camera with it wasn't just the red pharmacy sign, but you saw Alexander Quick. Alexander Quick, wow, no, not him, just Alexander waving his hands and like jumping in front of the camera.
Okay.
Yeah, Oleg would definitely relay that.
Okay, well, the problem to deal with when we get
Alexander's
This is
looking for
probably
us.
bad.
It seems urgent.
Yeah, let's get back and take care of Aaliyah, then we can take care of other Alexander problem.
So on the bus journey, Bex will work over Aaliyah as Kronks drives you all back. And when you get...
We're not being followed or anything?
Not that you can see, no. There is a little bit of a strange loop in the journey to try and make sure that that's the case. But yeah, you guys are able to make your way through. And then Kronks parks up, everybody starts getting off the bus. And you can see, that is not what I was looking for, thank you. Anyway, you can see that there appears to have been a bit of a scuffle outside the collusion base. you can see sort of what looks like a small vehicle has sort of like overturned and is up against the wall. It looks like a sort of one-person helix transport.
What's this bad news?
Everybody
One
sort
of
looks
ours?
over and... No, no, I don't think so. Looks like a messenger of some sort. And as the vehicle is sort of, a few people flip it back, you can see that in the vehicle, in the driving seat, was a fairy. And that fairy is sort of, you see a few fairies who get involved in the postal service, and they look like a postal service courier. And she is sort of, she wasn't driving, you can see at the time. Helix transports, you don't tend to drive unless you're doing certain things. But instead, she seems to be sort of in the brace position almost. And there's something clutched in her hand. Aegelon sort of pulls her back and pulls the sign out, and he just sort of turns it around to you all holding it. And it's just a piece of paper, and somebody has just painted on it with a paintbrush. They are coming. Aliana sort of shakes her head and... Let's get inside. Oh, there's any trouble. Bring the body. And...
Of the fairy?
Yeah. And Aegelon will do so. And I'm actually going to hold it there for a second until Rico has managed to dispose of this small beast. As
His own fairy, his own messenger fairy just popped in.
We'll give him a minute to Mario her out, because I'm going to let this moment sit for a second.
Right when you said the note said they're coming, she burst open the door.
Mm-hmm.
And there she was.
Yeah, exactly.
Are they paying per letter? Could they not have put who they is? It is.
Yeah. Does no one recognizes this person, or do they have any other things on their person?
As you're saying this, Aegelon will sort of bring the girl over towards you all. And you can see that at the bottom of the picture is a little drawing. And that drawing looks like a sunfly.
Ooh.
Oh, if she's a mailman, then I'll take Kai out my pocket and ask him. Do you know her?
Oh no. She was. She was. She fed me. She worked with Alexander at the office.
Uh-oh.
The mailroom.
Oh, this is bad news. This is really bad.
This is bad.
It is
can
bad.
we assume that
Eliana calls back. Inside now, everyone.
I'll shove Kai back in my pocket.
As you come in, you can see the smashed up bodies of 3 white robots. Also lying on the ground in what appears to be his final moments. It's a totem. He sort of looks up. I could not. You see him sort of like as if he's held on all this time to be able to say nothing at all. He goes, no useful information, but that's kind of accurate for him. But you can see that at least 3 of these creatures died at his hands.
Took forever to die, just like it took him forever to tell any of his stories.
Are there any
comes over and we might be able to recover. We should get through to the... And as she looks up, you can just see that the entire door to the collision base is caved in completely.
Oh no.
melted.
Oh no!
You can smell burning from within. And
There's
Eliana
gotta be
rushes
another
over and looks at
entrance.
the cameras. It looks like they've left. It's gonna be bad.
Where is Dylan? Where is
And as you look
where
over
is
the
his brother?
cameras, you can just see absolute carnage. They have torn this place completely apart. Whether it is the smouldering remnants of the training rooms, whether it is the destroyed areas of the canteen and the bar. Eliana sort of nods solemnly and walks you all through. Medlab. Hardest place to get into. Maybe the transport unit. Not on the cameras. Let's go.
As
Let's go.
we walk around, I just mentally say to myself, "Thank goodness I put my luggage in my lamp." Just keep
yeah, you were
walking.
smart to think ahead.
It's like a funeral for a building. You walk through. Nothing has survived. The chairs, the tables, everything has been turned upside down. Everything has been shot. As you make your way through the canteen area, you do see a single robot dead on the ground. A perfect shot sort of through its neck seems to have cut it down. And as you proceed on through to the med lab, you see one more lying down on the ground. Again, a single perfect shot having taken it out of the throat. And then you reach the doors of the med lab. You hear a communal gasp. 4 bodies are dead before it. 3 of them are robots. With his hand sort of on the scanner. A large, long rifle in his hand. What is left of Dylan?
Oh my gosh. Paisley's gonna rush over there.
Beyond help. Beyond. I condemned him to death. Am I not bringing him? Eliana gives a heavy nod and sort of gathers him up in her arms. Vex will unlock the med lab. The other side of the door, you can see a likewise halfling. Jacko appears to have been trying at the door to get through. You can see that in the gap of the door, where the 2 doors meet, 3 bullet holes, all of which are across his body. They died only inches apart, unable to see or hear each other.
So for
Oleg's
Paisley's just crying.
What was Oleg gonna do?
I was just gonna say Oleg was gonna help move the bodies, sort of, and get them out of whatever terrible position that they're currently in, and lay them out next to each other.
The med lab is mostly preserved, and Vex will rush forwards onto the med lab bed, putting Aisha down. And then a few of the others will help put Gorm in one of the other med lab beds. As she begins to go to work, Eliana sort of looks over and... We've got 2 hours. That's all. We must all leave. I have some places of shelter elsewhere. You'll be given the addresses separately. None of you are to know where the others are. Only myself and Ford will know. Those of you who already know where you're going, say nothing to anyone else. Like we were before, we become again. Secrecy is our best friend. Most humble protector.
Yeah.
Could it... Sorry, go on, Mikayla.
Go on, no, go, Vulgo.
No.
Go.
Go
I was just gonna say, could I go to the area where you can watch the security camera feed? I'd like to watch the footage just to see if, I mean, I don't know if these robots talk, but to see if they say anything, if they, like,
Eliana,
you know.
when you went to watch the cameras, you only could watch what was currently happening.
Oh,
When you make this mention, Eliana will sort of nod. Good plan. I'm going there myself. Come. When she takes you to the operations room, you will see that after they entered, attacking Gorm and killing him, which they seem to say nothing during that time, after they cave in the door, every security camera shorts. Jammed up,
I was
one by
hoping
one.
for a hologram of the Sith Lord. That would really be helpful right now.
That would have been pretty convenient.
Is
Yeah.
is it a similar effect to what we saw at Nikki's?
No.
This is
entire-
just straight
it just
jamming.
stops. It just goes black, and then it resumes an hour or so later.
Well,
Okay.
I'll ask Eliana, what could have caused this, the interruption?
Small electromagnetic field jam. Usually, electrolysis gets jammed up by usually a small device designed to block a signal. As she describes it, you will recall the device that Brozzig bought only last week. The week before last.
Well, was there no fail-safe or something like that happening?
The cameras aren't much use once people are that close, so we don't invest too heavily in that. Another mistake of mine.
Jacko was also beyond helping, right?
He's been dead over an hour.
Where this may be, I don't know if this is an in or out of character question, but where's Future? He was hurt too, right? He should have been here during this whole
He came
thing.
with you. No.
Oh, he still came anyway. Okay.
They needed him. They said that she patched him up because they needed him. So he came with you guys on the mission. The idea being that he could see the possibilities for Aisha. But what he couldn't see was the possibilities for the base. He wasn't there. What are you all doing?
Paisley, Paisley is just kind of next to Jacko and Dylan. Just kind of looking, shoulders very slumped. I'm gonna take out my little decanter and just kind of wash their faces at least. As she's just kind of talking to them and also to herself, like, sorry, got you mixed up in all this. I'm sorry. And then talking to Jacko, like, I'm sorry we saved you from one death and brought you into another. And yeah, just kind of, just over with those two.
Brozzig? What's he up to?
I don't know. I feel like since Vulgo's gone off and Del is sort of dealing with the bodies, I feel like Brozzig's going to go over to Oleg, who's probably here, kind of still surveying the scene, right? And he's just going to say, Alexander seems like he knew. That fairy worked for him. She had the fly on the little sign there. How do you think he knew ahead of time this was going to happen?
I don't know. Maybe he figured it out. Maybe he got tipped off.
I mean,
Even
even
the last
Liliana
time you
knew.
spoke, he didn't know you were here.
That's true. We did not. He said, "Go talk to my friend at the collusion. He can help you out." So that may have been a note for
Who is contact
Nick.
Sorry, what was that, Rico?
I was just asking the same question as Pat.
So
Like, is it Nick was his contact?
Yeah, Nicholas.
Yeah,
the
he had
GP.
suggested that you go and speak to his friend Nicholas if you had nowhere else to go.
Let's go
And of course, you already knew.
Let's go talk to him. Let's go find Nicholas. Tell him that we saw Alexander on camera, and then we think this note is from him.
Hopefully
So-
he's still alive.
Well, he was with us, presumably,
Yeah, I was
right?
gonna
So
say,
he's Well, we want to go find. I assume down in his lab. We'll go try to
Mhm.
find.
Yeah, it hasn't gone anywhere. He is in the med lab with Bex, trying to find anything that might assist. He's run off a couple of times and come back with a different potion or a different elixir, trying to assist specifically Aisha. Gorm, they've laid him in a medical bed, but nobody's tried to attend to him.
Nicholas,
What?
we may have a moment of your time.
What do you need?
I wouldn't ask if it wasn't important.
Try the blue bottle on the wound directly. Fine. He gestures
dragging
you
the
like a
corner.
little way away. He doesn't go like
Yeah.
any further than that.
Yeah.
What?
Alex,
Alex? It's Alex.
Alexander.
The note was from the fairy that came in. We think the note was from him. He tried to contact Oleg right
You know
as we
him?
were doing our plan.
He was
We told
just
you we knew him. You told us not to tell you that we knew him, but yes, we know him.
Conspiracy theorist. Fool.
That's right. But
Always
he did not
meddling.
know that we were
Always
here.
meddling. Clearly he
But
did.
He knew that
Probably sold
he
you
knew that-
out.
he knew that you were here. He told us to contact you after we had already been living here for like 2
Great.
weeks.
More people trying to get me in trouble.
Right. But he knew ahead of time that these people were coming.
He tried to
He
warn
tried
us.
to warn us.
Then you should
Why
speak
would
to
you-
him.
Why
Find
would
out
you
what
do
you
that?
can. I don't know, because he's dreamt it in some shoebox dream of his as he puts pins in chalkboards and makes up stupid conspiracies.
Do you have a quicker way to contact him? We have to go down there to see him, to his office. Do you have a quicker way of contacting him?
Since the strange man pulled all those things out of his head. No, not a clue.
Which strange man?
Alexander
He
pulled his
pulled
implants
his
out.
implants out.
Oh, I see.
He didn't
Yeah.
actually pull them out. He had them removed, but sure.
Okay. Well, we didn't know if you had a
Yeah,
better
well-
way of contacting him.
No.
He's clearly in the know somehow, but please keep doing what you're doing.
You're more help than
Imagine
us.
that. Then he goes back to what he was doing, and you hear a few mutters. Then Eglon approaches you. This is gonna be okay. That's what they're saying.
This is good news, Eglon.
Drop in the ocean. Nods around. Dylan was like a brother to me.
He
You
was
should
to
go.
all of us. I'll look over at Brozzig and I'll say, he's right.
We should leave. This is our fault.
I don't know if it's anyone's fault that they're being hunted. But it's best that there is no more collateral damage.
You'll take care of her, won't you?
She takes care of herself.
Well, she needs someone now.
She's got her family. He nods towards all the other collusion members. And I've got mine. Life's too short not to get things done. And you remember back to him saying that he was considering criminal path to healing his mother, I believe. Father.
Rescue his father from
Dementia.
dementia.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Ivan and Kogon will pull Brozzig aside. Don't blame you one bit. I want you to know that. Kogon will say, and as Ivan sort of, no blame. But you'll be safe.
Brothers, I appreciate that, but I do not think there is anywhere I will be safe anymore. But I do not want to put my family at risk if I can avoid it.
Ivan gives him a nod and gives you a nod. And when in doubt, a chain around the hand. And you punch. Always keep at least one beer in you. It helps against poison.
Yes, that is what my mother always said.
And when you need, you ask your brothers. He sort of pulls you in closer, sort of like arm hug. Sort of one-armed hug. I don't know why people do that.
No, I think
that's what he does.
No,
He's
I
giving
think Brozzig
that.
turns it into the manly hug where they're just slapping each other super hard.
It's a predator handshake.
Whilst this conversation is going on, Alia will approach you, Oleg. Say, take what you need from the engineering room. For that gun of yours as well, you're gonna need it. And, she survive. Make it worth it.
Can you promise him the same?
She pulls away. I liked you. I really did. I really do. Sorry.
Oleg will blush.
She sort of rushes off and sort of buries her shoulder in Goron's armor. And Goron will look over to you and just chuck you what appears to be a pair of keys.
What's this?
Down in engineering room, you can find yourself remember those books we talked about? There's a few other bits that we keep a little secret. Don't worry, I've got copies. You take everything you need.
Thank you, Goron.
Upstairs, where Dylan's body's being laid to rest. Baxter and Kaylee will be coming over to you, Paisley. And Shift.
Paisley's just ugly crying now, full snot.
Yeah, Baxter's in a similar position. And he comes over and just puts his arm around you. You loved him. I know you did. We all did. He was little brother to a lot of us.
He was my friend. And we had just gotten him back outside. We still had so much to do.
Wise friend of mine said life always ends when there's stuff left to do. Don't wait for no one. Get out there and while you're busy hiding and running and whatever else it is you're doing, find life as well. Yeah. Do the things you're going to miss not doing.
Okay.
You're going to need this more than me. I've got another backup somewhere. And he hands you what looks like just a sort of a kid's notebook. It's a big folded book. It's a mishmash. There's papers everywhere. And you just see, like, written into the front, the monster manual.
Oh, wow. Beautiful. I show him my book that I found.
I know.
Volume 2.
I know. You fill out yours with all the pages. It's everything I've ever seen, everything I've ever thought.
Hey, this is...
You're gonna need it. Keep you alive.
Yeah, just means a lot, and I'll fill mine out too.
Shift will instead hand you a burner phone. Looks like a Nokia 3210.
Oh. Wow, thank you.
These lot aren't to know, but I already do. So, you need help, you know where I am. I'll come anytime, day, night. It didn't take me long to get anywhere.
Thanks.
And as he sort of turns back, you can see Eliana and Vulgo returning. Unless, Vulgo, you were going somewhere else again?
Oh, sorry.
Where else was you going?
I wanted to do something after leaving the security room, but if
Okay, what do you want to do?
it's not permitted,
What do you want to do?
I'd like to, when I'm not around anyone.
That's not going to happen. She won't let you go alone.
What if I want to go to the bathroom?
Vulgo always has to go to the bathroom.
Sort of looks at you and... Not having you go off. We're seeing you
Very well.
safely to shifts.
Then there is nothing else I'd like to do.
You will note that somebody appears to be near all of the other four. And as Vulgo and Eliana come back to where Paisley is, Kaylee and Grells are sort of look towards you all and sort of turn away. You notice that Kieran, Newton, a few others also do the same. Kronks is already seemingly headed off somewhere.
Damn.
But
Wanted to say bye to Kronks at least.
as you all sort of regroup, you'll be seeked out. Wow, is that a word? It's better than suck, I suppose.
Sought?
Sought, that's what I was looking for. Out by Future. It's like I knew this couldn't be a thing. Future finds the four of you and he sort of looks at you all and... Raven, in your future, not only mine. This'll buy you an answer. Penny for the likes of a thought. I don't know if the answer is to a question you seek or not. Down in a nightclub. Deletion. There's the seer. I was going to go and see him. I had a token, you see. And now you have a token. An answer to a question. I don't know if you sought it. You'll find it a raven in your future, not just mine. He sort of repeats those words a few times as if like it's a sort of premonition of some sort, and then he presses what appears to be a sort of platinum tiny raven that emanates a sort of magical feeling to it, but you can't gain any purchase on what the magic might be. And he presses it into your hand, Paisley, but it's for the four of you. He nods.
So, take this to the seer in perdition.
An answer to a question. Might not be the one you sought. Raven in your future, not just mine.
Okay.
Thank you, Future.
Don't thank me. I didn't see it coming. You didn't see it coming. But he saw it coming. Why did he see it coming? Where did he see it coming? Why just the fairy? Not much of a warning, I'd say.
find out.
The base was known, but you were not. Who put the two groups together? How did they put them together? My brother slain, but why? Questions to which I have sought answers but found none. He saw it coming. They are coming. But who is they, and when? Much of a warning, I'd say. Future looks sort of almost distressed, and he keeps repeating these little mutterings, and sort of backs off after a little bit, almost forcefully. To the four of you, Pell will approach. I am to take you. We leave now. Gather your things. Say your goodbyes.
I will run off to the lab or to the
Yeah,
engineering room.
so the engineering room, and when you put the key in the lock, you'll find there's a few books, and below that is what appears to be a sort of digital tome. It sort of folds out like a sort of almost mechanically, and then there's a screen on each side. And you can see it's lots of 3D models of all the different vehicles, all the different robots that Goran and Alia have worked on. Obviously, there's more than one copy of this, but it's their sort of life's work, if you will. They've chosen to share it with you.
I'm touched.
As you as you're doing this, Ender is sort of bumping you in the back, going beep boop beep boop. You don't speak beep, but you get the impression he's not sure if he's coming or not.
You're coming, old friend.
Whoop. You just hear a wry sort of, I almost understood that, from Lenny.
Perhaps we can fit him with a vocalizer.
Please don't do that.
I didn't think it was a great idea either.
Did we get to keep the car? Is that an insensitive question?
No, it's not. Apparently we
I
didn't.
like the car.
I know. We'll take it for as long as we can have it.
Yeah, and you will have been told by Eliana that you can keep the car. And indeed, that is the car that you are leaving in.
I sort of meant before, like, we blow it up or something. But
Has anybody got anything else they need to do? As at this
Is-
point, Vulgo, they will let you wander off right now. Pell seems to be in charge of you, and he seems quite confident you'll come back. Whereas Eliana was really a little hesitant.
Well, more fool him. I'm just kidding. I would just like to go somewhere where people can't see me. I don't know if this works. They're probably going to be told, I don't know, through, I don't know, code. But I'd like to cast invisibility on myself and then try to get the location of one other safe house when everyone's being told.
So people have been spoken to individually. You can catch one brief conversation between Ford and Groza. And you only get a location, the old garage. You do hear that Newton and Nicholas are being sent to the bunker. And Goron is simply told, with me, by Eliana. Baxter and Bex and Alia, you know, are to be housed together, but you don't know where. And you know that Future, amongst others you would assume, is being housed at Kronx's place.
Okay, cool.
I'm surprised they're not gonna hold out in Newton's wizard tower that he took over. I thought that'd be pretty.
It's quite
It's
far away.
It's too far
Yeah.
away. I think that's the
It's
problem.
a bit of a.
But You do sort of see Eliana randomly just go. Small
Okay.
victory.
Oh, thought she was watching Zen Ball.
She got a tenner on her scratch card.
They could not get into the transport bunker, so
No.
they have
Goodness
all
for
their
that.
vehicles.
Well, you don't need to
That's
drive
something.
anyways, the robots.
You've got a car, but yeah. Well, you know that there was other stuff housed down there too.
Oh, okay.
That's yeah. There were a few things housed down there. You don't really know the details, but you know, for example, some of the training bots that were being worked on were down there.
Cool.
And some of the heavier mechanical stuff.
Yeah, I'll go
Nice.
back to where I was before, uninvisible, and go back and wait by the front door.
There is one thing I wanted Brozzig wants to do as well.
Um,
I just before we leave this body here, is there anything that we can glean about this black plated assassin with the
Or-
rainbow wings?
Or salvage from the
the
searchers.
Well, that's a different question, but that's interesting.
the searchers, those that are dead, have just seemed to be deactivated robots. There's nothing you could salvage from them that you couldn't salvage from other robots. There's nothing special about them. You do know that they have a memory chip. All robots have a memory chip. And you will see that each one of the dead ones has had their memory chip removed. The searchers have cleaned up after themselves. The black
Interesting.
robot casing, when you break off a single plate of it, the plating becomes white. And all of them can see it.
Oh.
And the more you break apart, the more you see that black sort of flickering. After you've taken 3 or 4 pieces off, it is a siphon. It's a different shape siphon. You've never seen one with wings before. But it's a siphon. 100%. Please do not eat the cat's tail.
And
Yeah.
nothing. It was wearing a cloak, but there's nothing of
Wearing a
interest
cloak.
in there, wasn't it? Well, the picture looked like it was wearing something.
Oh, sure. Maybe in terms of like its actual clothing, but the cloak wasn't what was causing the black.
No, it wasn't. But I'm looking for
Sorry, the
potentially
cloaking
anything else.
device of some sort seems to be an enchantment placed upon each of the parts of it.
Okay.
There's nothing much worth salvaging.
Can I take the legs of the robots, or is that asking too much?
Fucking heavy.
Do we have a bag
Oleg,
of holding?
maybe? You do have a bag of holding. You can put
I do have a
Oleg
bag
in
of
there.
holding.
Yeah.
Chuck
Not
it in
Oleg,
there.
but Oleg.
I don't.
Oleg of Holden.
And,
I was
and
gonna-
can we
I was
take
gonna
just
attach
Didn't
some
make any
legs
damn
to them.
sense.
can we take a piece of the siphon that we killed? Not.
Well,
I mean,
he's
no,
just taking a whole fucking leg.
Well, you meant for him. Okay, then yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
I thought you meant of the sneakers.
Oh, did you?
But, okay.
no, I meant of the
Okay. Thank you.
seekers. Yeah.
Okay, so you
Not
want
the-
a leg
not
of
the
the
black.
white
No,
winged robot.
not a single
Okay,
leg. I
that's
wanted 6
really
legs.
fucking heavy.
That's too much. Yeah.
Those look way bigger.
Yeah, they're sort of shoulder height on you from the ground. Those.
Oh,
legs.
okay. I didn't realize. they were
Goodness.
Yeah,
huge.
these
I didn't realize
seekers
they were
are 16 feet in height and have
okay.
huge
Wow.
bodies. So yeah,
Oh my
that bit more
God.
difficult. Yes, you can definitely take a few pieces of the black robot.
Okay. Just to
Um,
potentially show to somebody later. Like,
Mhm.
we can find an
I
expert.
agree.
And not only
100%.
that, but Gorham will say, "That's your mystery, not ours. So you can take everything you need."
You take a piece of its wing.
Of the sort of
Ender
fly-like
wings.
wings. You can
Yeah.
take the whole wing. It slices off. It's ephemeral. It's like it weighs nothing. It's like literally
Yeah,
as
we'll
flimsy as you
we'll
can
take
get.
one of them.
There is nothing solid about them.
You could become an aeromancer instead.
They're like fly wings.
Mm.
Too fucking late to change subclass, bitch.
Is it?
Yes.
Okay. Can I just check on Aisha before we go? I assume she's still unconscious.
She is. Bex is working over her and looks up tuned. She'll live. Mostly because of you. Don't take the
Well,
responsibility
that's
for only the
something.
bad things. Yeah?
Yeah. I'll just take her hand. Could you just tell her we'll go shopping once this is all sorted out?
She'd like that. She's going to take this hard, you know. Real hard.
Yeah.
You guys were her charge.
Well,
Her first big responsibility. She stepped up in the collusion.
I think we were maybe too much responsibility for even
Everyone
looking
is.
like her and Dylan.
She looks over to Dylan. Everyone is. Couldn't protect him from anyone else or himself. Little brat. Oh, loved that kid, you know.
Yeah.
You gonna be out and about in the streets at all?
I have no idea what's gonna happen right now, but presumably, yeah.
Put your wrist out.
Okay.
She turns Dylan's one hand to her own and will then turn hers to yours. Every single credit to his parents, right?
Understood.
He was saving up for years. Everything is
I'll
gone.
make sure they get it.
Get his mum out. The last thing you do. He loved her.
Yeah.
She nods and you
Thanks
can
for all
see
your help.
she's very sad, but she's also a little angry.
Sure. I think Paisley has the same look about her. Like now it's personal.
She gestures towards the walls and take them if you need, whatever you need. And there are healers kits. They're called, I think they're called futuristic healers kits or something like that. On D&D Beyond.
We had modern
on
ones.
medical
These-
modern.
These,
Is
are
that
these
yeah,
the
that's
next one
one.
above? Okay.
No, they're the same ones.
I'm like, I don't know. Maybe that's
You can take one each if you want. She really doesn't care.
Cool.
Do you think Dylan would want you to have his rifle as well?
Great question. Whoa.
You can take it if you want, but it's one of those, you know, like it's printed. I think. She sort of picks it up and she pulls the trigger and points it at the wall. Nothing. You know that a lot of guns are like these. It only works for the
For
person.
him.
Yeah.
We know a guy. We know a guy.
She shrugs and hands it to you. Tell the bastards what did it. Josh, do you need a minute, or are you with us, or what's the thinking? Seems to have randomly vanished. And I've become the DM.
He went invisible in real
I've
life.
become Oleg.
Am I?
Pat.
Am I the DM now?
No, Josh is the DM
okay.
whilst not here.
Oh, okay.
Wow, so that's how it is.
He designated Mikayla as himself.
All right, I'll be Vulgo.
But Pal sort of looks around to the group of you and... Welcome back. Come on now. Must leave.
Yep.
He sort of walks you out. Heads over to the car. Are you going straight to your place of residence? Or are you going
No.
elsewhere?
We have someplace we need to be. Another friend to check on.
12 hours, I'm with you. He nods and
Are you
gets in the
sure?
back.
Are you sure?
He's already in the car.
If he had heard that question before getting in, he just sort of gives you a sort of solemn stare. Like, I don't repeat myself. I've told you what it is. I'm with you for 12 hours. And then he gets in the back.
I will fire up the old. Is it a transport or
Brozzig gets in shotgun.
It's the car.
the car?
I'm not tall enough to sit in the front.
Hal says nothing, but watches you. Each of you.
I guess Brozzig will say with the Squawk Rock, because I don't know how much Pell wants to be involved in this next layer, although he's already kind of involved in all of our shit anyway. But guys, Oleg and I were talking. We need to go check on Alexander. He tried to warn us. We think he sent that warning to Nicholas. We need to go make sure he is okay.
Yeah, I agree.
Vulgo, you getting in the car?
I'm already in the car.
He was the first one in the car.
Literally.
You're being very quiet.
I was one step out the door. Yeah, I mean, I'll reply, just not responding to that at all. And I'll just tell everyone the safe house locations of the others.
Wait, what? How did you find out about those?
Bear in mind, all you've got is the old garage, the bunker, Bronx's
That's
place.
enough information.
Is there one other?
Espionage.
With me, you know that some of them were with
With
Eliana,
me.
but don't know where.
Yes. No, I'll just say, I think if this has taught us anything, is that we should have a backup plan. So why not have several?
Well, yeah, I mean, I agree.
Spying on our friends who we've gotten multiple of them murdered is probably not the best idea, but Vulgo, I appreciate.
Oh,
I appreciate you.
Did you murder them? Oh.
Yeah, basically.
Oh, then I would
because
like you not to be in this
is-
car then.
It is our fault. We're all just staring at each other silently as we're doing this. and
Yeah.
can't tell.
Oh, it's our
Oleg's
fault?
driving.
Oleg
Huh.
is driving.
Interesting.
He's not getting involved.
I disagree.
Paisley's staring out the window too, dispassionately.
For the record, Vulgo disagrees and does not think it's our fault at all.
Well,
Are we going? I guess Oleg would be driving to Alexander's place.
I think we need to go to the office.
He was stood outside the pharmacy waving at the camera.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Or do we go to the
gotta
farm?
go
That's the
there.
question.
Can
Do
we,
go
can
to
we
the farm?
pass? Can we pass by the pharmacy on the
You
way
can
to
look at the
him?
camera. It is a real-time camera.
That's true. I'm driving though. This is dangerous.
Okay. Well, you could have done it
Okay,
before you
I'll
started
look
driving.
at it.
No, but
Brozzig looks at the
I'll look.
camera.
I'll look at it.
He's resorted to putting a crude sign up. It says, "They're
Oh,
coming
good.
for you. Get out." And he's like pointing to it.
Is dedicated.
I will swing by the pharmacy.
Okay.
Yeah, I guess.
Let's
Well,
go
that's
get
where I
him.
put you guys in the Sky District. Where the well, it's not actually the Sky District, is it? It is. Anyone tell us where the pharmacy is, so that I don't have to pull the map up?
Oh.
Not Grover's side.
Okay.
Not Groverside. Something green.
No.
Greenside.
Something? No.
Thank you.
It's in the Cloud
no, it's not.
District.
It's not actually Greenside, is it? Yeah, it is Greenside. Well done. Good job. It is in
You
Greenside.
don't get up to the cloud district very often.
Fucking hell. Did I say Cloud District?
No, I did.
Okay.
Just
Yeah. You head out there, and you see him standing outside, waving frantically at the
Dang.
camera you placed on the wall.
let's wave him into the car so we don't
Yeah,
we aren't seen
I'm gonna roll up nice and slow and roll the window down.
ominously.
Made it out!
Sort of,
They're chasing you. They found you. Well, I guess
get-
they haven't.
shut up and get in the car.
Got it and
I
get
don't want to be
in.
part of your death.
You
I
already
don't want
are.
to die alongside you either.
Okay,
Listen.
let's go to your house then.
The death already happened.
Are you
okay?
insane? You're not coming to my house. Besides, I've moved. It's obvious he's
Okay.
lying if you've got an insight of
That's
6 or more.
That's probably wise. I just
Alexander, we're not
just
having
flattered
this
him.
conversation out in the street. Please.
Pal, can we have the car for just 5 minutes? Can you wait outside? We promise we're not
No.
going to drive away. Do you want to hear this conversation?
Alexander,
I
Alexander,
don't
get
give a
in.
shit. Do you want
he
him in the
doesn't care.
car?
No, well, don't force him.
Before
Okay,
you
just
even
come
finish
to the
that
window
sentence, he
then.
just opens the door, and Pell moves faster than anyone you've seen. Bah! Suddenly, Alexander is
Oh,
sat
wow.
in the car, right next to you, Paisley. He shuts the door.
Okay.
Alexander sort of looks
very
at you and,
cool.
what is... Put
Just
down, bird!
Just zip it.
If I
How-
if I activate the jammer right now, does that like deactivate the car or just like
I think
is that
so.
tech included in that?
No.
Okay, then we activate the jammer.
Nice.
There's a security
Fine.
camera in the car.
Well, outside the car, the one
Yeah.
outside won't see us,
Well,
right?
you
Oh,
don't
that's
know.
true. It is 10 feet. Yeah, okay. You jam your own camera. And
Yeah,
the
I don't
other
want
one.
I don't want
That's
Nikki
right.
I don't want Nikki spying on us. You kidding me?
Yeah.
And as the car starts to roll away, he sort of looks at you all. So, did they find you, the Seekers? They said they found you.
How
They found
did you hear
something.
that?
Yeah, how did you know? I wish we had gotten your message sooner.
Boris.
Ooh.
No, not who. What? Boris.
Boris.
Boris is an AI. We have made our acquaintance. Since the guy jumped in my watch, your friend, Zetrix. Been to the Last Light Chapel a few times. Met up with a girl there who wanted to look out for you and a few other people. But, I also met with Boris. Boris is a AI that can be in more than one place. Pretty cool, actually. Anyway, he, there's a government group. Called themselves the Searchers. Small team, from what I understand. They've got these robots. All these robots. White robots with wings. I don't know if you've ever seen them.
They're huge.
They got a lot less of them now.
Fought them off? That's impossible.
Well, we didn't. But
Yeah.
a couple of our brave friends did. But they got about half dozen of them, but I don't think they did not make it, our friends. But we were not at the base when it happened. Your message arrived while we were
The
out
base.
on business.
You were at the collusion base. You went to
That's-
Nicholas without telling me.
Isn't that where you sent the message? We thought it was safer that way.
I didn't send the message to you. I sent the message to Nicholas.
I know.
It didn't make it on time.
Nicholas is dead?
No.
No,
he's fine.
hold on. The fairy was dead, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
I knew.
Cat is out of bag.
She
We
knew.
were staying at the collusion base.
She knew. She knew she wouldn't make it, but she went anyway. What she was like.
Who was she? To you?
An acquaintance. We worked together a while. She was a warrior. She fought for truth and justice. She was always going to die young.
Well, she may have given them enough of a warning to at least be able to fight the few off, but it was just either very bad timing or, maybe on purpose timing. Maybe they knew most of collusion would not be there.
They know more than you'd believe. You good, Josh? A minute.
I'm fine.
Good to know.
I'm not laughing about anything that's happening.
Relevant. Okay. Alexander sort of looks around at you and what now? No, don't. Have you got a place to hide? Hang around with
Yeah.
this guy? He sort of nods towards Pell.
He's only a temp.
And please be polite. He could kick all of our asses with one hand tied behind his back.
Seems obvious. He turns to Pell and, do you have implants? Pell sort of looks at him like, we should take them out. It's the only way you'll be safe, you know. They're watching. They're inside you. They choose what you see. Make your own choices. See the truth. Get rid of your implants. Here. He sort of randomly pulls out what looks like a sort of little tiny piece of card. And as he's writing on it, it sort of, he folds it out a little bit. And he writes an address on it and gives it to Pell. He'll take them out. Nice and cheap.
What does Pell think of that?
Yeah, I was gonna say if Pell is looking around and like I catch his eye in the rearview mirror, I'll sort of give him like an approving stare and be like, "Should consider this."
I mean, he literally saw something today that we saw that he didn't. Right? He has evidence that
That's why
Alex
I'm
isn't
sure
completely full of shit, right?
if he's actually shaken by this.
He tilts his head to the side. Looks at Alex. You are strange. I will consider it. Are all my brothers likewise blind? Alex sort of looks at him and it's in the implants. They're controlling us. They choose what we see. Don't trust the news. Here, I've got a... He sort of takes out a rolled copy of the old Vermont.
The venerable Vermont.
Venerable Vermont, indeed.
Nice,
Which Brozzig
nice.
already has, and if you look at it, there are a few interesting articles. So you read through them. So, the first mentions the old subway. They're getting the old subway running.
The old subway, like where I live?
No, the mole tunnels were built on ancient subways. That is true.
Okay.
But the old subway
Okay.
refers to that old rickety train. You've seen some of the more modern ones that are auto-driven in Perdition. But Pell will actually speak up if you ask about it. The old train runs around the inner districts in Perdition. Most of that area of Perdition is abandoned. Oh, bless her.
Why is it abandoned?
Some sort of fight between celestials and fiends. Angels and
Okay.
demons, if you will.
Checks out.
Gang warfare.
We might have seen a couple of these fools, yeah.
Not so much gang warfare. More struggle to avoid their instincts. When these beings came, they were spread many miles apart. There are stories of old Perdition. Those that lived them know them better than I. He sort of shrugs at you. A second story speaks about the taxi driver, who is apparently a serial killer. One of the drivers of a Helix transport has been killing people in his Helix transport and dropping them out in the sky. They don't have registration numbers, so no one really knows which Helix transport it is.
Interesting.
Good lord.
There is a note in the article. Sorry, just hold on for 1 second. There is a note in the article that Helix are trying to hide this information so that people don't stop using their cars. Joshua said.
I was just going to say, from the moment we left the base, how long have we been driving around for?
Probably about 40 minutes now.
Okay. If it gets to an hour, could I have taken a short rest?
Why do you need to have something back?
It's nice to have spell
Invisibility.
slots.
Yeah, I'll let you know when.
Okay, cool.
Hints, what spell slot are you trying to get back? Oh, the invisibility.
Both.
And the one you used in the fight. That's what I was going to say. You would have had a short rest
Yeah.
since the fight, so you can have the one back. But the
if I've had a short
invisibility-
rest since
it's the fight,
fi-
but
yeah,
before
yeah,
the
yeah,
invisibility
but-
is what I point.
Okay, I'll put one back then.
A couple of other articles of interest. There was a commotion around an old coffee shop in Groverside. Two robots were found crushed to pieces outside. You recognize the coffee shop as the one where you ordered a triple espresso to meet Jezebel. Yeah. That was you well. Are you guys good? Do
It was outside the shop.
Josh, do I need to take a break?
What? No.
Okay.
What's wrong?
All right. You just seem very elsewhere. Yeah. So there's an article about the coffee shop and two robots found crushed outside it. You also see a few articles about entrances to perdition being closed. And these are specifically relating to the Black Irons. The Black Irons are closing entrance to perdition. Or entrances to perdition, sorry. And then somewhere in the middle, there's a large article which looks like complete conspiracy theory rubbish until you realize how much of the other stuff has been true. Which asks if Naylor Quick has her own persona, or is she being controlled?
Yeah, Quinn.
And the Quinn, yeah, sorry. Quinn and Quick. Too many of them.
Now, this is a great question.
Yeah, there's a 2-page article about the possibility that someone basically programmed her and programs her, and she's not actually, because you remember she was an AI become sentient, automaton. There's someone saying that maybe she isn't sentient, maybe it's just giving that appearance, and instead she's being programmed.
I knew I didn't trust her.
Kurotis.
I don't trust her yet.
No, you would know that in the Venerable Vermont, no one signs any articles. There's no sign of any writers. There is a small article down the bottom corner that talks about matches in Zenball being fixed, and a suspicion that it might have something to do with a kobold, which is interesting.
Kind of right, sort of right.
And, like, it's sort of right, but sort of really wrong.
Yep.
You notice another article warning you away from Chocomore. That there may be some mind-inducing drugs that they think are slipping control.
The sex chocolate.
Into the sex chocolate.
Yep.
Oh.
I look at Vulgo.
And then the last 4 pages, this huge article written by some sort of wacko who's asking, is fantasy life real and we are in the fantasy?
Right.
No, that's crazy.
One of these types.
Brozzig will read that 3 or 4 times.
It's very in depth. It talks about how people experience their own versions of life in the in fantasy life, but in this life, everybody experiences the same simulation. And things repeat themselves, and there's hundreds of different things mentioned that repeat each other at really like a specific series of times. For example, there's been a power cut in Mulside where all the lights went out 6 times, and each one is 6 years, 6 months, and 6 days apart.
666.
6666,
That is
technically.
creepy.
6 times, 6 years, 6 months, and 6 days apart. It might just be a demon playing a trick, it says, but it could be meaningful. There's one about the Chancellor having the same plastic surgery every 6 weeks. Which Governor Larian, I think it is his name. Has had the same face modifying surgery. Like he's constantly getting a nose job, basically. But like every 6 weeks, obsessively.
Oh man, is he a secret Pinocchio? Is his nose growing?
Oh, like all the time.
A secret Pinocchio. That's one of the better conspiracies of the day. There is also on the back, shortly before the back page, because the back page is all about the Zenball results. But just prior to that, there is an article about the mole tunnels.
Oh.
And it says that the residents may all be being mind controlled by a growing plant growth that its proximity to it can induce mind controlling effects. You know this is a very inaccurate telling of the red creature, the red plant creature that is found down in the Moltons.
But there's nothing in there about the people that are disappearing. So that was my next question for Alex, if he knew anything about
Not
it. Not even a
one thing.
crazy theory about it. That seems by itself seems like it seems important. That the biggest story of the day is something they're not touching for whatever reason.
Alex nods and Alex nods at you, and you're asking the right questions. The disappearances. I've got all their names.
You do.
29 of them. I think. I'm gonna track them all down. They're all being held at the same place. It's an old Medicorp's lab. They experimented on some sort of forward-thinking AI. There's also some signs that they were trying to create life. It looks like those experiments failed. People that are disappearing. They're very powerful, a lot of them. I think there's meant to be 31, but 2 of them are by. I think there's meant to be 31, but 2 of them didn't get captured.
We know of one who did not get captured.
I assume you speak of Jezebel.
I shrug. Maybe.
The
Who
other
else
one
do
is a
you have?
Celestial. Sligo, I think.
Have we heard?
Twice. You've heard of him in reference to 2 Celestials, Christian and Cyrus, who were talking about possibly not going up for the festival, and Thikgrik basically came in and told them they would operate and to get back to work. You also know that Thikgrik owes Kretchthek money.
That was him? I thought that was
I
Christian.
thought it was Christian or one of the brothers.
Ah, sorry, yes, you are right, it is Christian. No, you have heard of Thikgrik in another sense, but I can't remember what it was. Okay, I don't want to hesitate to guess then, because I might give you way more information than you have. You should have another note on Thikgrik somewhere. But maybe not. I don't know. Yeah, anyway, Thikgrik is the second person who wasn't taken.
I mean, we do know of a genie named Mikayla who, I would think if someone tried to take him somewhere he did not want to go, he would light them on fire.
My theory exactly. There are some that went willingly. But why?
It is a great question.
Well, they have over some, they didn't have over others.
Perhaps the deal is being cut.
Maybe. Maybe not. I don't know.
Have you
Anyway,
heard
they
of
all
the-
went disappearing within 6 hours of each other.
Have you heard of these black Siphon that cannot
Black
be
Siphon?
captured on camera?
Well, this is it. They were all captured by creatures that can't be captured on camera. I didn't know they were black. Ben?
We fought one. I
So-
killed one.
Pell sort of cuts in and black Siphon are outcasts. No longer part of the tribe. Gosh, though. They
How do you know this, pal?
I listen. I learn. And I'm getting old. Anyway, as I was saying, Vashithar, it means they're no longer part of the clan. Siphon can't break their rules, their blood pact. They made a pact as one being, as one entity, a long time ago. It stops them from being able to break their word. They enter into an agreement. It's signed in their hallways. when they're painted black, it renders them outcasts. They can no longer return, but it also apparently breaks the pact.
So they
They
can
cannot
now fight their
They
brothers.
can lie, they can cheat, they can hide. I don't know if they can fight their own kind. I don't know if they would.
Well, either they have some sort of plan here, or somebody is using these outcasts to their advantage.
The Siphon have no agendas. They live to serve. In their own way. And in return, they are granted their measure of freedom.
Who exactly do
Nobody-
Siphon serve?
Nobody looks within their walls. Anyone who purchases a contract with them.
Oh,
Their contracts are binding. They cannot break an agreement. But no one looks within their walls. They're allowed their measure of peace. They were once hunted, you see. Are we going to drive around all day, or are we going somewhere?
going back to Alexander's house.
All right, no, wait. Let's. Alex, do you want us to drop you off right here?
I was gonna just drop him off wherever. Yeah. And,
Yeah,
Why
let him
don't we
walk
go
back.
to your hideout? Then I'll know how to get there.
Do you
Okay.
want to?
Yeah.
Alexander, you saved our lives. I trust you with my life. We would be dead with not for you. If you want to
It's
see
true.
where we will be, we will show you.
I'm gonna
No,
squat.
a neutral place. A neutral
Where will
place.
we be?
Let's find the neutral
Yeah.
place.
Let's go to the coffee shop.
I knew he would.
There's
Say.
a really good Burgertron.
Oh, I promised Dylan I would bring him.
I
back.
know. I was gonna say that's a touchy one right now.
It was
fucked up.
slightly intentional, if I might be honest. He'll tell you there's a really good Burgertron right out in the suburbs, down in District 36, Los Goros.
Great.
Fine.
I could eat.
The Los Goros is an owned district.
Owned by who?
What does that mean?
Well, he sort of hesitates and Pell looks over. Surprised not get out at all.
No.
Basically,
I
never.
used to stream.
As soon as we got out, look what happened. It's been a mess.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. That was just me remembering that I forgot to check on that goblin baby before we left.
I'm sure it's fine.
The 72s.
Oh.
They own Los Goros. They don't mind
Sounds like a
citizens. Dude, they don't mind citizens. They let them pass freely. Government officials, Siphon, robots in general. They hate them. They're kind of maniacs, but he's right. It's a good place to meet for you.
We do have killer Siphon and Seekers and whatnot coming after us to kill us, so could be a safe place temporarily.
You can drop me there. You can drop me here. Alex just points randomly out the window.
I will stop. Well, I'll make sure that no one's around and then let him out.
I'll be in touch, but the pharmacy is no longer safe. Sorry about your camera. Here. And he hands you a random old hipster watch.
Nice.
It's not quite my style.
Then put it in a pocket, but check it regularly.
I'll wear it.
Can I inspect the watch to see what he's talking about?
Yeah, so it's like a old school sort of silver watch. It's very nice. It's got sort of very delicate hands. He'll tell you if the hands go backwards quickly. Meet me at the Burgertron.
All right.
It's synced to mine, you see. And he'll show you his own. And he can wind his own back and it will wind yours back. You can do the same if you want to contact me. As he goes to get out, he looks back and it's kind of cool, don't you think? Like spies.
It's pretty cool, yeah.
As he gets out and the door shuts behind him, Paul just sort of looks around and that man knows far more than is safe for him.
Yeah, he's probably right to be, paranoid. Maybe we should have been more paranoid. But,
You can never be too careful.
he's pretty clever too, right?
It does seem that. Look, I shouldn't be the one to advise you.
If you have
But-
advice, let's take it, though.
Pardon me for saying, you seem intent on running towards danger, not away from it. The more you dig, the more dangerous it gets. I don't want to tell you too much about my past. But you asked how I knew about the siphon. I once did some digging of my own. Separate issue. Something similar. Digging gets you killed. Or worse. It kills the ones you love. Find a dark corner and hide in it. Make another life for yourself. Get out. That's my advice anyway.
Cal, that would be the easy thing to do. But some of our friends are already dead.
Is it
I
worth
know
more of their
personally.
lives?
I guess we will see.
To be rude, but you're not exactly the best at defending yourselves. So, those who try and be the shield for you are the ones who are going to die. Who next? Shift?
No, we're not. We're getting out of your guys' hair now. And
Staying in
if
Shift's
anyone's
place?
gonna die, he doesn't use it, right?
Sure. Can't possibly be any links back to him. Such a careful guy, Shift. Never out of control.
That's not even his real name.
Never too drunk.
Yeah. Do you even know his name?
Shift and I go back.
It's Pat.
He nods at you. Your choice is your own to make. 8 hours and 41 minutes. We're driving for that time. We're going back to shifts.
We should probably get off the street.
Yeah. Yeah.
We'll head to the hideout.
You should know. Liana hasn't abandoned you. When my watch ends, another one begins.
Is it because you want to look over us, or are you looking for the ones that took out your other people and you're now using us as bait?
Liana's motives are her own. To keep you alive. If I can.
Don't get yourself killed in the process.
Why not? You seem intent on dying for something you believe in. Let an old bird do the same.
You really should think about Alexander's offer to get rid of your implants.
I'll do more than that. I suggested to the others. We make our
This is
decision
much-
as one. We're a family. The people assigned to watch you. They've been told that you shouldn't notice them.
And if we do?
That's what I'm asking. Keep your distance. Pretend you didn't.
Sure.
You go to shift place. Open it up. There's a smell of stale smoke. Dripping water. Unlaundered drapes. Carpet's a sort of ashy grey colour. There's small burn holes across it.
This place gets better and better.
The first room you open is the kitchen. There are empty bottles. Drink everywhere. On the table is an old mist sensor that's burnt out. A pillbox next to it, also empty. The more you walk around this house, the more it looks like a junkie's mess. And then you enter one room that looks like it might have been a bedroom once. There's like a few different gym machines in there. You know, a rowing machine, a stretching machine. And they're all pushed to one side. And on the wall, across the other side, somebody's scratched in like a small biro, writing all over the wall.
What does the writing say?
Yeah, what does it say?
There's
The general vibe
all
here.
manner of notes. Some of them include names of people that revenge is being sworn upon. Lots and lots of notes mention our good friend Nyla. There's at one point, she loves me, not written down one side, crossed out. There's no escaping.
What does it end in?
I have to know also.
It ends in she loves me. No. There is some mathematical calculations. Oleg, you can give me a intelligence check.
Does it equal 21?
No.
No, it equals 23.
4.6.
22, actually.
Oh, is that the Jim Carrey film 23?
It is 23, the number.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay.
4.6 is what it equals.
Yeah.
Oleg,
Okay.
you do note some of these things. One of them is the amount of blood in the human body on average.
Jesus Christ.
Cool. What is that, 7 pints, I think?
Yeah, except he's given it like to the milliliter.
Ooh.
One is to do with what looks like drug measurements of some sort. As you study it a bit longer, you realize that it's a calculation, the most efficient way to kill yourself.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Using drugs. All over the wall.
Efficient.
Yeah. Smallest amount of drugs, the least amount of pain, the most guaranteed death. And then written all over here, you'll find the same message over and over again. There's no escape as you drive off the bridge. There's no escape lest you drive off the bridge. There's no escape lest you drive off the bridge. As you look down next to the rowing machine that's sort of pushed close enough to the treadmill that you couldn't get on either, you'll see a sort of empty bottle on its side and a picture, a cracked frame. In that cracked frame is Shift and Nyla. They look like they're at some sort of Christmas, like a Christmas market of some sort. They look happy together.
I think Brozzig doesn't say anything. I think he just starts going back to his janitor days, and he just starts cleaning. He just starts silently taking out all his cleaning supplies and just starts cleaning the words off the wall and picking up bottles and just starts head down, completely silent.
Hell
Cleaning.
joins you.
Oh.
A couple of times he sort of stops and Twitches his head a little bit. Some of the choices. He says nothing. No?
I will help by putting my cleaning cube down. Paisley's not going to actually start cleaning. She's just too lazy for that.
Yeah, there's not much furniture here. There is an old black sort of L-shaped sofa in one room that's sort of, you know, where the leather's been used so much, there's sort of white lines, fault lines going through the whole thing.
Cracking.
Yeah, lots of cracking of the leather. But there's a dusty screen, an old school TV up there on the wall. There's a few side tables with like ashtrays and sensors on them. In the kitchen, there's a stove that looks like it might work if you clean it up a bit. And then there's two kettles, one of which, when you open it up, has like sort of chemical burns on the inside. The other, which looks like it might have been used for hot water. Strange use of a kettle. There's a fridge that still works. And then in the bedroom, there's a sort of a bed frame. And then there's like a camping bed that's been put on top of it. Which is obviously what he was using. All in all, it paints a pretty sad picture.
Is there a garage to this place? Like, where did we put the car?
It's that side.
We gotta find street parking.
We have an alarm tentacle.
I mean, just to let you know, you are in this... Oh, you're already here. I put you here already. You're in city side. This place is massive. Is it city side? Is that the right address? I gave you the address, right?
You gave us like the full address, I believe.
Oh, well, shit. Hello.
Oh, yeah.
Your portal code.
Whoa.
Hi.
I think it's city side.
Walking around the cold floor.
Ow.
Was it city side?
Pada's
I don't. I mean, it's in my notes somewhere. I remember you giving us like a full.
yeah, there is a full address somewhere. I can find it if necessary. But it's
Woollerton
not
Street?
Yeah, that's the one. It's in Woollerton Street. Do you have a district on that?
Nope.
No.
Just
Okay,
the
cool.
street. Is all I wrote.
I'm 99.9% sure it's city side. So yeah.
Cool.
There are loads of little. It's made up of like lots of streets and then side alleys.
It's in Newton Grange.
Ooh.
447 Woolerton Street.
Oh, nice.
Please, woman, calm the fuck down. Your fucking claws are doing my head in.
Oh, no.
Oh.
Out.
Horrible.
Josh seems to have some endless tolerance for her putting claws in the back of his neck. I do not.
No.
Yeah,
Can't
okay.
stand for that.
Newton Grange looks a little like this anyway, so it's not too much of a deal. So Newton Grange has lots of spaces where there's like back alleys and just like basically like lots. Everywhere you go, you can like get around the back of the building and there's just spaces outside. So you can just park the car there and it's not visible like to the main street going by.
Okay.
But as you guys are in this sort of dark and sad place, really, Howell sort of looks down and then sort of looks up, and you think you can avoid dying for half an hour?
I think we can manage.
I'll get us some food. And as Pearl heads out, that is where we are going to end.
Good on a happy note.
And we will come to the time
We're
restriction
gonna get
of
burgers. Oh my god.
MVPs. But before we do, I would like to give you some experience points.
1,400.
Yay!
1,400.
You said you were close. You're nowhere near close.
That's close
That's
compared
pretty
to how much we've got.
close.
you
Yeah, that's like
have-
10%.
There's some XP points given for knowledge acquired, and you've got a few pieces today. The agreement of the Fen is worth 150.
Oh.
150.
Old Perdition is worth 100. And the Taxi Driver is worth 25.
Oh.
Wow.
It's a small piece of knowledge that you actually could have got in episode 2.
Oh,
And then you just sort of went woo straight past it. So it's really interesting that it's taken this long, but it's still there. So
amazing.
it's marked off my tick list. You're not going to level up next week either, Josh. So get ready for that.
I don't suppose we got 1100 from finding out the other safe house locations.
No. No.
Yeah, that's a little something.
You didn't get their locations. You got their names. Not so useful. The old garage could be anywhere. It could be in the Kinshasa Republic.
I know where it is.
Do you?
It's
Okay,
the
that's
old
good.
garage.
That is true. Maybe it's near the gas station. Remember that place? Good place to hang out on a Friday night, I'm told. Anyway, we come to the time of situation of MVPs. Josh gave us a great recap. So we shall come to Mikayla.
Me first. Okay. Maybe the bait and switch you did, where you told us last time we were gonna have a nice dinner with everybody, and I was like in the mindset for that, and then that didn't happen. The opposite, in fact, happened.
I had to be able to title the episode "Farewell" without you knowing something was up.
Wow. Yeah. You know what? So I guess I'll give my MVP to your lies and your scheming.
Rico.
Very heavy episode.
Did you become
but-
attached to Dylan?
I mean, of course, a little bit. Dylan and I thought we were gonna see his whole the whole Jocko's his quest and
the brother
situation
redemption
through.
arc.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and when Goran was just like, remember those books, and I was just like, fuck, those books were for.
That's what I was thinking too. I was like, those were for Jericho.
But
I had a list of things that I wanted to reference in the episode that were adjacent to your relationship with Dylan. So whether it was the video games, but you mentioned them first, Paisley. The Burgertron that you promised to get him. There was the mention of the cigar case. There was the rifle. There was the books for Jacko. The red plant in the Molten. Lots of those. So I hope they kept reminding you. I'm sorry, Rico. I didn't mean to interrupt you. Carry on.
Well, yeah. Amongst all this despair and just awfulness, there was the cutest moment when Kogan and Ivan sort of took Brozzig aside and were giving him like words of wisdom, and I was like, oh, that's so sweet. The brotherhood of dwarves.
Yeah.
Duh.
Oh, glad. Brozzig, Pat.
Yeah, I like what you're doing. I mean, everything was so sad that I feel I can't give any of the sad stuff MVP, even though it was definitely moving.
Well, why not?
But because I don't know.
That is good.
Yeah.
We like sad.
I did like what you're doing with the Venerable Vermont. I like that you gave me those headlines, because it's like a fun metagame almost aspect too, because it's like, well, what is real and what isn't real? Because we know some of it's real, we know some of it's not. So like there's some juicy bits in there, and there's some, outright lies in there. It's fun to try to pull that apart and figure out what you're actually trying to do.
Interesting.
Well, I mean, twisted truths, presumably, right? Like
You
things
don't,
that
right.
we know are true. So
Well, you're
fun.
probably not in a simulation. I mean, you kind of are, though, right? You're all the players, and your characters are in the simulation.
we kind of, yeah. Brozzig is like
too meta.
after the mushrooms. Brozzig is in on that theory.
There
He's
were
like,
two
it's
or
perfect.
three fourth wall breaks today. I don't know how many of them you caught, but yeah, there were a few that were quite planned, which I quite enjoyed. But yeah, good. I'm glad you're liking it. Yeah, I really was annoyed last week. I hadn't got the Venerable Vermont stuff together.
This was a good.
So my
good
problem
timing.
is I have a long list of things that appear in the Venerable Vermont, but it's on a timeline, and I hadn't worked out where exactly we were. And I don't want to give stuff that hasn't happened yet. That should be a disaster. I did realize that I forgot to tell you about one of the Venerable Vermont things that was a little while ago, but I think you guys would have picked up on it at some point somewhere. Which is about a new fad of cycling. This is strange. It's Groversiders mostly have been cycling for fitness and to travel from place to place. And it's quite talked up in the Venerable Vermont and disparaged by normal citizens. And I just wanted to slide that in because it's not just there for amusement. There is some interest to it.
I'm amused. Fucking hipsters. Okay.
Yeah, fucking hipsters,
Yep.
exactly. Josh,
Somebody who
These
one of the
hipsters.
hipsters had a crazy ass bike.
Like a
that
big
was
wheel in the
motorbike.
front, big wheel in the front, and a little wheel in the back.
Yeah.
Oh, I got a penny father?
Didn't you meet them, or am I
Oh,
imagining that?
No. He was a circus trickster, I think. He was doing
Oh my
tricks
god.
on a wheeled bike, like up and down, and like
Maybe.
In the parade, we may have seen something.
Yeah, in
There's
the
a lot of
parade, I
crazy
think.
shit that
I don't
happened
think
that
it
day.
was. I don't think. Yeah.
Go ahead,
Weird
Josh.
things that sit in your head, Rico. Josh, your MVP.
Yeah, so I actually predicted the destruction of the collusions, and then James confirmed it for me. So
We were out to dinner on Friday, and he was like, "You know, I'd be really sad if like we get to the collusion base, and like I'm really
I
annoyed."
didn't say
with
sad. I said that it would be like the perfect dramatic twist to be like, oh, we're all focused on this, and we come back, and it's just in ruin.
And I was so
What if it wasn't in
upset when he
ruins?
said it that he'd spoiled it for himself that I just couldn't hide it. Like normally I'm quite good at going, yeah, that'll be fun, and then just letting it go. But there was my big twist, and he just called it, and I was just like,
funny.
oh,
Sorry.
maybe I'm not so original. Maybe I'm not so cool.
No.
But I
I am very grateful you kept it close to your chest until today.
well, of course.
Uh-huh.
But I still like.
Yeah. The real
I really
hero's
like.
Josh.
I liked Gorm the turtle. His death. It really reminded me of this Doctor Who episode. Whether in this library, this girl dies, but her like consciousness is stuck in this like, I don't know, this bit of technology, so she keeps repeating herself, and it slowly fades out as she dies.
What it is
Damn.
an echo. It's called an echo, a translocational echo, and it's in the helmet, and it's the last thought. And that is actually the concept I used in the Last Light Chapel with the AI that were outside. Do you remember those little candles with flickering lights where they've been reduced to a thought or two at the end? That was in reference to that Doctor Who episode. So Gorm not, but I have used that as inspiration elsewhere. So interesting.
And congratulations, Josh! You finally got to be invisible for.
You did? And it
I
worked.
know, thank fuck, man. I'm getting rid of it the second I
Finally.
level up.
Interesting. I would recommend keeping it. Personally, now that you're not going to be followed by Scythen everywhere. Yeah, I had a few today. Obviously, in episodes that are this dramatic, whether they're a downwards turn or an upwards turn, it often results in me doing a lot of the talking. And that can be a little shit for me. Like when I look back on the episode, I'm like, but actually the moments where we just sat on stuff and let it be were really quite lovely. I really liked that the interjections weren't lengthy. They weren't complicated. It was simple stuff, like Paisley's just in tears, like dirty crying and the snot and everything. Or mentions of, Oleg's just gonna gather up the bodies and make sure they're not in a horrible position for everybody else to witness. Vulgo going over the security cameras to see whether he could find out what happened. I really enjoyed the moments with Brozzig, Ivan, and Kogon. I thought they were really quite touching. And not just from Ivan and Kogon, but also from yourself. And I think we've really, between us, formed a view of what these stoic dwarves are like in this world. And it's been really enjoyable. But mostly, I enjoyed your interactions with Pell. Pell is like one of the few collusion members we haven't really had much contact with. Pell is... he was a potential subclass for Pact, the Sword Sage or the Staff Sage. If you remember, he had that training session with Brozzig. But beyond that, if you didn't go that route, he didn't have a huge amount of reason to engage with you directly. But I think he's a really interesting character, and I just sort of assigned him to you randomly, and then I thought, oh, this is actually quite fun. Like, this is a very different view, because he's quite harsh, and he doesn't take no shit. And I couldn't be asked with you guys having an argument with Alexander on the street side out of a car window, so he gave me a great excuse to just ninja him into the back seat. But I love that you sort of...
Alexander was being the difficult one, not us.
Yeah. I love that you...
That scene played out perfectly.
Yeah, and you sort of pledged to Alexander, but also shouted Alex. It was very interesting. The dynamic between you and him is very fun. I'm really enjoying that you've engaged with him the way you have, because I think that there's so many fascinating elements going on here. Yeah, we're back on the main story, that's for sure.
I'll say.
And boy, is it getting juicy. That is where we're going to end. If you guys would like to say goodbye.
Bye.
We shall
Goodbye.
see you soon.
Happy Halloween.